We just talked to Chuck Grassley a few moments ago. Same question to you. Is it a done deal or not?
Well, if that's for me, yeah, it's a done deal.
Which means you have the votes. And what does that mean?
I think, yeah,
what does that
Bill,
mean when you reflect on the process, Senator?
Well, you know, when you look at this and what we've gone through, we know pretty much where the votes are. And let me say this, Bill, if there's anyone out there that wants to really know everything that happened, and if they have 45 minutes to spare, pull up what Susan Collins said yesterday. That was the best description I've heard. Now, if you don't have that much time, just keep in mind that this all started with Dr. Ford. And they've had that information for 2 months in advance. There had to be a reason, and just figure it out logically. We know what that reason was. And then remember also that they made the statement, it doesn't make any difference who this president nominates. They were going to be opposed to that person. We found out this morning they already had signs made up, Stop Amy, referring to Amy Comer Barrett. I think she's in the 7th district. So they're going to be opposed to anyone that comes out of this administration.
Dana?
Senator, I wanted to ask you about people complaining about the process, that the process is broken, that something has to change. But what is your perception on that? Does the process exist except for it was abused? Or do you think that there does need to be fundamental change in the Senate?
No, there didn't need to be any change. You have people with different ideas. You have the Democrats who don't want, and let me say, the major difference between Democrats and Republicans, Democrats are disciplined. They do what they're told, and they lined up, and they're going to oppose anyone that would come out of the Trump White House. So the process is all right. It's just that people, when they're dug in, this is, no matter what the process is, it's not going to work. It's going to look bad, and this does look bad, but it's really not. It's going to be over in a few days. I was around when Clarence Thomas went through this same thing, and of course, the accuser in that case was from Oklahoma. I remember it so well, and they said this will never be the same, and all that. Yeah, it's the same. It's going to work.
Senator, go back to your comment about Susan Collins. She really divided that speech in two. One was the defense of Kavanaugh's record, judicially speaking, his legal history. And the other half, she threw a spear through the allegations against him of sexual assault and gang rape. Did you watch that speech, sir?
I watched it. In fact, I was with President Trump, and when I was watching it yesterday. And I thought she did, yeah, it was kind of two different attacks there. One, as you pointed out very accurately, but it was put together in such a way that is so understandable, and Susan, is so credible. I thought she did a fantastic job, and I think that everyone who is confused about the system ought to pull it up and watch her one more time. I'm going to watch it again.
Well, we've had this debate about gender, men and women in America. Was it important to have a woman deliver the message that she delivered, do you think?
Well, yeah, I think it probably was, because, and I'm sure it didn't go unnoticed. She had two other women, senators, right behind her all that time. I think that's important, because the ones I talked to are the ones, maybe Oklahomans are different, I don't know. But the women that I talked to, I haven't found one yet that agreed with the hysteria that's going on right outside this window today.
Sir, I wanted to ask you about that, because obviously there's protests today. We can hear them in the background, and they're growing as this vote gets closer at 3:45 p.m. or so. But you represent Oklahoma. I'm sure your office was deluged with phone calls. When you weighed people calling in, either pro-Kavanaugh or against, I mean, what did you hear from them?
Well, of course, the ones that call in it's about 10 to 1 that call in. We have a lot of professional callers also that'll call in. I was hit in the street by someone screaming in my face, actually, touching and all that stuff, and claiming that she was from Oklahoma. And I said, look, you're not from Oklahoma. We don't have people like you in Oklahoma. But they're out there. Last night, I even drove down where they're all gathered right now, and they all said, I saw a couple of them, I said, I'm sure you're going to have a good time tonight, stay up all night long. It's not going to change. He will be confirmed tomorrow, and that'll be a great thing for our justice system.
All right, Senator James Inhofe, thank you so much.